Good morning, folks. This is September 6th. What are we going to get into today? I don't know yet, but come along with me. Hey guys, this is AJ the CEO. This is your first time stopping by the channel. Thanks for stopping by, and on this channel we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So I have a wonderful announcement that I have a new project in the works, and if I can get my screen up here, I can let y'all see it. And this is for all of those wonderful folks who kept encouraging me and asking me about this. So let me cut over to my other screen here. I'm putting together a podcast. Yay, it's going to be called Everyday Christian Podcast. This is where I have some guests, I'll have some ministers, have some friends, some other folks like that. Pretty much we're just going to sit down and talk. Right now I'm aiming for once a week for right now, where we're just talking about applying the Bible to everyday situations. Not just have faith, but how do you actually have faith? How do you do this walk on a day-to-day basis and what we learn in church, and apply it to all the issues we got going on and how to handle those things. So for those who kept asking and encouraging me to start a podcast, here you go. I will let y'all know when it is official, but this is what it is, and we're going from there. So that's what happened last night, and let's see what else we're going to get into today. One thing I do know, our monthly meeting is coming up Monday, and I have two people who expressed interest in joining Sunday. So I was trying to do a video here a second ago, not a vlog, but an actual video of how to train new folks. But I need to put a little bit more work into that. So I gutted what I recorded, and I'm going to redo that all over again. What else do I have going on? I meant to stop by the church after I dropped my daughter off at daycare, but I didn't, because I know I had a lot of stuff going on. I need to finish up my personal website for the sports stuff. I think I got a couple of football games I got to record tomorrow. I have church announcements. A bunch of people have sent some announcements today. Well, actually Wednesday, because yesterday was the cutoff. If you sent it there, it wasn't going to happen. So pretty much it's like this is where I'm starting to ramp up and get everything prepared for Sunday, which makes me think what I want to do is break apart the roles of what we do in our media ministry, and I want to actually train these new folks that are coming on this, specifically be focused on the basics of just turning on the system, how to get mics work, how to stop the squeaking, how to increase the volume, how to fix the gain. And then after that, turning the camera on, getting the live stream will be number 2. And then after that, I want to develop roles that people can master. And once they've mastered that, or they've expressed interest, move on to something else. So I think I'll actually do that now that that's on the forefront of my mind. So let's go ahead and start documenting some stuff. All right, so I'm trying to get a jump on the videos for video announcements for church on Sunday. So if I look over here on my layout, we have 5 announcements, not including my own, for our Bible Trivia Challenge. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of these have been recorded except for this one and the one that I'm going to make, that I was trying to make the other day, but I think I'm going to redo it. So this is for a diabetes educational session. So what I can do is I'm gonna lay out everything, and then I only got to make 2 announcements to tomorrow. So I should be able to get to the football games that I got to record, which I'm going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to do the whole score and everything this time around. So, let's get to setting up these announcements. All right, so I was cleaning up today. I had my direction. I was going to do one thing, but I had an epiphany about this Bible trivia game show that I'm trying to set up at church, and I had an epiphany on how to figure out all the stuff that I was trying to do. So this whole video got derailed, and today's video mainly is going to be how can I over-engineer the snot out of a Bible trivia show. So let's go. All right, so the main thing I was trying to figure out and I was trying to look up are ways to show the questions on the TV, the 4K TV I showed you that I used in the photo booth this past weekend in the chapel, because I think that's where this is going to be held at. I want to have questions up so everyone in the audience can see, but also questions that the participants in the team can see. So what I'm thinking about doing is, the thought that came in my mind is to use, similar to what I'm using right now as the NDI viewer and all this other stuff like that, is to take the NDI player that's in the security room, hook that up to the TV, or get an extension cable or whatever, hook it up. But the idea is that I'm going to use OBS to broadcast a static image that's going to be on the back of the TV showing the round, the scores, and the questions. And the questions are going to be powered by a dynamically based text file that we've done before, where when I showed you how you can use a text file to populate lower thirds on OBS, which will dynamically pull the file. The questions are going to be loaded into that file dynamically, which will show up on the screen. That's how I can go show the questions on there, as well as multiple TVs. So that solved that question. Now the over-engineering part is, I have all these questions I've been storing in a database, because like I said, I've used to be an ETL developer and been doing SQL and all this other stuff like that for years. So I have all those questions loaded there. I'm gonna make a stored procedure to where I press a button and it will automatically fill out all those questions for all 5 rounds randomly based on the level and the difficulty, put that in a file. And so I'll run this command. It will pull questions dynamically for that game for each of the scenes that I'm gonna set up in OBS. And then I literally would just have my stream deck to press round 1, question 1, blah, 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 and go through it that way. Which I think is going to be pretty cool. And I think I can dynamically display the score the exact same way. Now, the score I might do differently. I'm probably going to put that in an Excel spreadsheet, and then it will pull. But that part I need to figure out. But anyway, that's the over engineering. So I had Dead Rising over here. But until I had to go catch up with my sister-in-law and help her with something. But what I'm gonna do is obviously scrap the game, and I'm gonna work on this since I got this in my head now. Took the longest, just because it was tedious, is setting up OBS. So I'm using a mixture of everything that I've talked about before. So the idea is, I showed y'all the 4K TV that's in the chapel. So what we're going to do is have a computer, most likely the streaming PC, not the streaming PC, excuse me, the presentation PC, like we did with the photo booth, have OBS installed on that. And then we are going to run the NDI monitor on the same system. We'll have one monitor set up for the person who's running all of this, and then monitor number 2 is going to be connected to the second monitor, and it's going to actually display everything out. So similar to how we have the system already running, we have NDI out is running out of the OBS here. So if I go in here, I have it the same way. NDI output is actually outputting something right now, and sorry, I changed the font sizes here, and I didn't restart my computer. That's why it looks crazy like this. But this is the name of the NDI output. So I would come in here and run NDI number 2. And I'll run the NDI monitor similar to our screen that we have. So here, and we do full screen, and we are connecting to the output, and this will get us our audio and everything. This is what's being output from OBS right now. So I can control this, but then on the screen, this is what everybody in the chapel, the contestants as well as the audience, would see. And I also have sound and everything to it. Then I said earlier, I was showing how I was going to try and animate that fist going together. And then more importantly, to control all of this, I heavily set up my Stream Deck so that it can control all of this. So if I bring up the Stream Deck software here, you can see exactly how I have everything set up. So first, I made 5 profiles for round 1 through 5. And in each profile, we have the pregame, which shows the image that you see right here. We have a button that goes to score, that shows the current score. And then we have these multi-action buttons here. So if I come and look at one of these, pretty much it changes the profile to the next round, and then it will also reset everything clean so that it can actually, so no questions will be shown, no answers will be shown, nothing like that. And I do that for each round. And then now once it switches to the given scene, so I press this one, it switches to, and I'll just press it right now. Let's see, now it goes to scene number 1. And you probably heard the music in the background as well too. So I have the animated fist here, which I'll show you that separately. That is if I actually go to the right folder. Alright, so I made this whole folder, and this is a whole bunch of stuff actually I need to get rid of. But inside of here, we had, where did I put it? Oh yeah, we had the animated fist. Alright, so that's all it is. It just, I took each one of the scenes, separated, had them move over, and then the same sound effect that I used during my vlog, that's what I did to impact both of those coming together. Now I think about it, I actually need to put some sound to the fire that I have for the score. So anyway, it runs that animation. Once the animation is over, it disappears, and then it was gonna go to this static image that I have here, which is just this final image of the fist and the scoreboard. I mean the question board. That's what I have this image is. That's what this is. So the animation happens. Once the animation is done, it closes, but it ends the exact same way as the still image. That's why you never see the transition. Now, each one of these, including the round, is nothing but linked to this is a text where it just has the round number in there, and it changes every scene. Now, all of these are pretty much text, but it's reading from a file. So I have, if I go back to the folder, I have a folder called questions, and in each round folder there are 4 question text files and 4 answer text files. So when I run this script, I would copy out the answers for the questions for that round, paste it inside of the text as well as the answer, and if I come back over here, we have these buttons. So question 1 will turn on the source of question 1, and then the other button does the answer. So if I came in here right now and I press question 1 button, hold on, let me hold this up so you can see it. I got an extension so you should be able to see it. So if I come in here and press number 1, see, it shows the question. And then if I press the answer one, see, it shows the answer. And I've did that for each one of the questions. Now, I could get fancy and put it that once I click on this one, it turns the other one off. I don't really want to do all that, at least not right now. So yes, it's a little more tedious right now. I really haven't had the time to do it because what I'd really like to do is, I don't have business intelligence. That's a program that comes with SQL Server, so I can make automations. Pretty much that program would allow me to write these questions and write to those text files automatically within seconds instead of me manually doing that. That way I literally could just make a program, click it, it runs, pulls down a question dynamically, puts it in the file, and then all of this is set up. So the fact that I have it all in folders and all this other stuff like that, technically I can come over here and I want to export all of the trivia stuff here. So I can just go here to my projects folder, Bible trivia, make a folder called OBS, and I can just save it right there. So now I have all of this automatically set up. I might have to just change the path a little bit to get it to the files, but pretty much all the hard work has been done already. Now I believe I can do the same thing here. At least I hope I could. So maybe not. But either way, I know the concept of it works. So that took all day for that. So let me cut over here to the other screen so you can actually see what that looks like. All right, so the idea is when people come in, this will be what's going on. And then also, I didn't mention it, the scores work the exact same way. I have it, and this is the one I wanted to have sound effects too. All of the scores are in a text file. What ultimately I want to do is write a program to where somebody will have something that looks almost like a calculator, and they just press team 1, the score, plus or minus whatever, and then it just populates this, and it's changed dynamically. The score will be shown in between rounds. So once the round is over, this will pop up. This is what will be going on when people are doing the challenge part who lost, and then we can add or take points away at this point. And what you're seeing right now is what will be on the TV so everyone can see. Now the good thing is I could always make this run on multiple TVs because I'm actually connecting the computer to the TV, and I have one more display. So the idea, really what I want to do is take another TV, have it in front of the contestants so they can see the question, but then the big TV is going to be faced to the audience so they can see what's going on. So I think the epiphany that I had when I was taking a shower worked. And just real quick, I can come in here, and I think I actually had some fire sounds here, and we'll loop that. And I actually know I did because I used that on the video that I made for this. Yeah, so this right here. So I got 3 of them. So I'm gonna copy these first. And then I'm gonna have all of these loop. But again, I'm setting all this other stuff up so that I can take it with me and just copy all of this to a thumb drive. And then this will be ready when we decide to set it up at church. So let me go over to my folder, projects, Bible trivia. Let's make a folder, make it neat. Sound effects. Paste that in there. And now inside of here, we're going to link to all those files. First file. See, I could almost get away with just that one. But we got to do a little bit more than that. Let's just do fire sounds 2. I think that's enough. Alright. We link those, and those are just going to loop over and over again. And then we can come in here. So that's the game starts. And let me go to Steam 2 so you can see it. So from here, that's what everybody see when everybody's coming in. Boom. There's the score. Show them. This will be the scene where we're describing the rules of the game and everything. And then it's like, hey, let's begin. Let's go start with round number 1. I hit action number 1 here on my Stream Deck. Cut over to here. Boom. And now I just, as the host, I would just hit question number 1. What type of insect did John the Baptist eat in the desert? And then after they do that, they have to write down their answer. Then we go to question number 2, question number 3, question number 4. At the end of the round, now what we'll do is like, let's revisit the questions. All right, audience, what's the answer? The audience will say the answer. Boom, we reveal the answer. And now we're like, team, show us your answers. And then we mark the points. Somebody else will be marking the points. Or if I'll maybe take the mini Stream Deck that I have upstairs and use both of them. The other one could be done to calculate the numbers or something like that. Then we go to question number 2 with the answer, question number 3 with the answer, question number 4 with the answer. Boom. And then while we've been adding up the points, we go back to score. All right, score is, and this will be reflected here. So let's say, let me go ahead and just change one so you can actually see it change dynamically here. I'm gonna go to the wrong folder again. So I'll say Team A score. Sorry, that was the file that I'm opening. And I'll say they won that round and they got all the questions right. So we just save the file. See, and it changed automatically. And that's the same way it will work if we had any other teams. Once the file is saved, it will update. Now that that's over, now we hit round 2. And that's not right. It's supposed to say 2. Hold on. Maybe I flubbed on something here. Let's cut over here so y'all can see what I'm actually doing. So we go over to, I want to see here to multi-action. Oh, we got to go to 2. This is 2. Make sure. All right, that's 1. That's 2, 2. 3, 4, 4. And technically, I really don't need to add all these rounds because you're not going to go from round 1 to round 5. But I duplicated them all so that I didn't have to do it again. So if we do, let's try it again now. If we go to round 2, let's go to score. Round 2. There we go, round 2. And then let's make sure we go to round 3. As you can see, it doesn't do the animation because it needs to go away, but you see the number change. So if I just go to the score and then go back to round 3, and then the same way, score, round 4. And then score, round 5. And I'm gonna get rid of the sound marker there. Then we'll go to round 5. And then, as you see, the questions change because they are a part of that scene as well. So that part, the hardest part of all this has been done. Worst case scenario, I could actually move this all to my mini ITX system and just have this set up there, and then I just bring that system, and then I don't have to worry about, the only thing I would really have to bring is a monitor to hook this up. Actually, I have this monitor, I could just do that. But the idea is to make this portable. I think this will work now. The technology is done. Now I just got to get the people to stop putting red tape in the way so we can move forward with it. So anyway, this was kind of a little bit different than the normal vlogs that I do, but I just wanted to show you that this was the idea that I've been working on the last about actually 2 weeks. I've been working on, and outside of automating this stuff, which I will work and perfect this a little bit more so that I don't have all the stuff that I have to do with it. But I think when we record this and actually do this, this is going to be a really awesome experiment to do. And that's about it. So anyway, I hope you like the content and stuff that I did today, which is a little bit different. I literally spent the whole day working on this and doing all this other stuff. But anyway, what I'll do is when everything is done, once I get all this stuff straight, I will gladly share this with anybody who would like to try something like this. I was actually talking to some other folks to see if we can actually set this up. Now, this is the fun part about this. Since I'm running this in OBS, technically we could have another church participate over YouTube, Facebook, or whatever, and they can compete at the same time. That's the cool part about this whole thing, since it's all running in OBS. So whoever's seeing this locally, they would see the exact same thing if they were playing at another church or people playing online. So that's the beauty of all this. But anyway, I hope y'all like this type of content. Like I was trying to say, when I'm all done with all this other stuff, I will gladly make this stuff available so that y'all could try and set up something the same way at your church. Anyway, this is AJ. If you like this type of content, I would appreciate a like. Consider subscribing and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry and actually make church fun. Anyway, we'll see y'all on tomorrow. Later.